Hi, my name is Jim. I'm the owner of Morningstar Disability, which is a disability firm. I'm actually recording this video testimony, as you see here, at my home office. I just want to do a quick video because I just want to inform the populace out there how excited we are about the Business Finance Suite, because for all intents and purposes, there's not a lot, and I've done plenty of research, and I'm sure you probably have as well, on the internet regarding business credit, how to obtain it, what are the 1, 2, 3 steps of how to get business credit and secure financing, which is so important for a small business such as myself to be able to survive and thrive in today's economy. I'm sure that you can agree with that. And so what's great about it is the fact that you have the support with the team, right? The Finance Suite product is so integral for our business because of the fact that it teaches you how to structure your business properly. There were some things that I was missing. There were some things that I had, but there were some things that I was missing, as well as the credit profiles and things like that to be created, and then vendor trade lines. Like, we would never know what types of what are the criteria that are necessary, the underwriting guidelines for the vendors to be selective, that when we would choose them, that we would be approved versus something where it would be where it would negatively impact our credit because we were just taking a shot in the dark, right? So I thought that was very, very important. Of course, where are you going to find that? No one's telling you anything about that, right? And then of course, then to be able to get business credit cards in my business name with no personal guarantee, because most of the time they want to get your social security number when you're applying for business credit cards. So this totally separates my personal from my business, which is awesome. And then of course, the major thing is securing financing. We all need financing and working capital. My business sure does, and did at the time. And so it's awesome. I'm very excited where I'm at today. I'm very excited in the process. The team is very supportive, right? They're very knowledgeable about business credit and securing the best financial options for you, right? And they go through everything thoroughly. I couldn't say enough about it. But again, because of the fact that it is exclusive, you don't see it anywhere else on the internet. This put everything, it's like a one-stop shop, put everything all at my fingertips. And with that being said, hey, it allows me to have control, which is what I like, to have full control over the success of my business, and I'm sure that you would agree. So anyway, that's my testimony. Go out and buy your own Business Finance Suite. Thank you.
Hey, what's going on, family? It's yours truly, Nick Woodard, checking in with you. Another amazing day. Hey, real quick, I want to just share my personal testimony on how Myecon, the personal financial success company, has helped change me and my family's life, right? So before Myecon, I was living not even paycheck to paycheck. I was living getting paid Friday to being broke on Monday, right? I had credit cards maxed out. I was in debt up to my neck and was clueless about money. So I was introduced to this opportunity by my personal mentor, Mr. Terrence Hill, the founder of the Financial Blueprint Academy, because we believe in giving people a financial peace of mind, right? And he shared this information with me, and based off the first strategy when it comes to cash flow management, I was able to legally adjust my W-4 form as well as my wife's, and we income shifted an extra $700 back into our household each and every month, right? And we took the new cash flow and put it towards our debt. And up to today's date, we have snowballed over $50,000 in debt at the government's expense, right? And on top of that, we have actually cash flowed just over $100,000 by applying these strategies. So I encourage each and every one of you to reach out to anyone you hear who is talking about personal financial success, representing Myecon, because we're all about changing lives, and we want to welcome you to the financial journey. Have a blessed one. Peace.
Hey everybody, making sure, testing 1, 2, 3, making sure everybody can hear me okay. So I hope that you took the second or two, and as we're warming up, I still have 8:29. So this is also where you can share, the link very easily, to others that may want to watch this. And this is also so we can also keep it recorded, so you can visit the channel and you can also see other recordings and things like that from others, as well as from myself, of other trainings and other systematic ways that we've been doing business. So the goal is to make sure that we return to basics. Why? Because we're talking about the middle of the year, right? And so many times what we do is we wait till like November and December, and then we get ready to ramp up again, and then we get ready to, start anew, with the January the 1st. So what we want to do is we want to start that right now instead of waiting on the end of the year. We want to revamp. Okay. So as you guys are taking a second or two and getting your pen, pencil, or whatever it is that you're taking your notes on, make sure that you are also getting in place so that you're taking any kind of notes, right? For any kind of notes. So you want to make sure, because what I always say is this, right? Your purpose is our goal to build that purpose. But if you are not invested in your purpose, right, by investing in the time that you're spending, then you're going to lose out on your purpose. Okay. So make sure you're taking good notes so you can actually get the things that you desire out of it. Okay. So what we want to do while we are doing that, I have 8:30 now, so we will begin. All right, so what I'll do now is share the video and make sure that we have everything. So anybody out there, make sure you take a second or two as you're watching this, and now say hello to everybody watching, so that you'll know and you'll see yourself also, in the mix, right? So what we want to do, we don't want to just have it, in the ear or just playing, right? Because on the job, what they ask us for what? They ask us for 40 hours, 50 hours a week, right? 8, 10, 12 hours a day. Sometimes you're out there doing more, right? A lot of the first responders and those types of people, right? So the case is, if you are spending that much time to get the check that they're giving you, right? How much time are you looking to spend in yourself, saying that you want to create this type of freedom, right? So if we say, hey, Mike, I'm good for this 30 minutes, right? So that's awesome. But what about the training portion, right? You're going to do for the complete hour, right? So what we want to do is we want to make sure that we have a dedicated time to see, okay, what are we doing? Why are we doing it? Right? And then how are we going to keep ourselves up, right, while we keeping it together? Okay. So let's go ahead and share our screen here so you can see where we are. And we're going to simply have an understanding of what it is that we do, okay? And why we do what we do. Real University, as you know, is renewing excellence, advancing leadership university, the real you. Our goal is to help you to build your purpose, whatever that may be. So you don't have to have a pill or a potion or a lotion, wrap, tea, anything like that, right? Because we understand that the biggest challenge it is out there is money, right? Majority of the times we're robbing Peter just to pay Paul, and a lot of times we're short on what we're giving Paul, right? And then if you have been anywhere like me, I've walked into my apartment complex, my apartment building, right, in my early 20s or so, and it's been a time to where I reach over the wall and the click clack clack happen, and I just say, hey, I just wanted to use these candles anyway, right? So I've been there, I've been up and down, right? So I've had to the position of being married and both of us losing a job to where we are now, don't have any income coming in and losing houses, right? So I understand the ups and downs, but the thing is, majority of the times when you're seeing things on the YouTube channel, you're seeing things on Instagram, it's so many people saying overnight this or put your money here, and then you'll have this over here. But if you don't have the network or the resources, 9 times out of 10, if not 10 times out of 10, you're not going to bump into that person that's like a Nate and Carmen that would help you with investment strategies, right? You're not going to bump into a person that will help you to create a whole new you like Yashika McMorris. It just doesn't happen. So we wanted to bring in that type of individual so that we can all grow, right, as one unit. But individually, I want you to be able to work on yourself so that you can know that you're becoming a better you. Because the whole point is, let's say if you took a second to become 1% better each day, right? Just 1% better. Can you commit to being 1% better, right? If that's the case, then in 1 year, you've become 365% better, not 100% better, not 200% better, but 365% better. So it's not that you just jump out there out of a sudden, you become a brand new individual, but it's every day you make adjustments, you discipline your disappointments, and you make habitual habits, right? Your friend, okay? And so what we did realize, though, let me increase the slideshow here so you can see the entirety. All right, so we know a few things, right? And what we do as Real University, we have partnered with Myecon. We become an associate with Myecon, meaning my economy, right? We wanted to help others to take advantage of the things that they have. You didn't have to worry about a second job. You didn't have to worry about selling things if that wasn't your cup of tea, right? So what we want to do is show you how to make your money work for you, right? It's not about running after the particular income. What it is about is actually structuring your life so that the income becomes a fruit of your activity, of your habits, okay? Because even though, as it says, America is the wealthiest country, right? 69% of Americans have less than $1,000. That's 7 out of 10 people. 68 million Americans have poor credit, right? So not only is it something that is a shared symptom, but it's also an opportunity to help a lot of people. So also 8 out of 10 people in a room with you, say for instance, if you're in a particular hotel or so, right? 8 out of 10 of those people feel like they're falling behind. Right. And the thing is what everybody's noticing with the hyperinflation. Wages are stagnant, right? Government has no solution, right? We were riding around and we saw a Captain D's, and the particular Captain D's, it was Saturday in the middle of the day, and it had a sign out said, "We are closed due to a labor shortage." So not only, right, is there a shortage of labor, which means that there are people out there that don't need to work, so to say, but it's also the same statistics to say that nobody's working at the same time. How do you have both of those? You have people that say, hey, I need help. I need a lot of things from income. I need to make more, or current ways to make more money. But at the same time, the jobs, it's because people do not trust in that particular system any longer. They understand that there is no solution. It is a determined factor that in a few years that Social Security will no longer be existent. So the individuals that have put money into Social Security, if you're not pulling out of it by the time this particular year comes up, then there's no more Social Security. So this goal is not to just say, hey, I need to create more money so that I can go on a trip, or I need to create more money so that I can, get the newest watch, or, the top brand Jordans, right? So the goal is not that those things are bad. The thing is to have it in a particular way so that the things that you need are taken care of. Right? Then you have the overflow to do the things that you really want to do. We don't want to put ourselves in a worse position just to look nice, right? So that's why this is what is so important. And what we wanted to do is show, well, I will skip the testimony here. And basically what we do with Myecon is show you how to use strategies. And this young gentleman has been able to retire from the military, and his wife retired between 40 and 42 years old. And they've used these strategies that I'm showing you to retire and have $1 million in cash flow. Okay. And so how does this work? Right. So what I want you to understand is this: if you are the type of individual that takes notes, I'm going to give you a second, because this is a matter that is skipped. But you have so many others have to come back to it, right? We run after particular income, and the income is not going to satisfy if your bucket or bag has continuous holes in it. So we're going to go over a couple of things called the 2-4-3 strategy. So if you are working with your pen, pencil, or taking notes, this is the reason why you are working from check to check, right? This is the reason so many are having challenges, are reaching or leaving a legacy or any type of inheritance for the next generation. This is the reason why the average individual has $36,000 ready for retirement when it takes almost 1.2 1.3 million to be in an asset, creating for you at least an 8% return a year for you to live about an $8,000 or $9,000 every month. Okay, so this is why you have individuals that are working at McDonald's, after they have retired 30 or 40 years of putting in time, right? So we want to do what it is that is necessary for us to switch and change. Okay, so these two objectives everybody is working on. Everybody needs to start focusing, and that's your current lifestyle, because it's paid for by your labor. It's saying I'm going to give you an hour, you give me $10, $20, $30, right? Every time I give you a portion of my life, you give me your dollars, right? So that's paid for by your labor. Your future lifestyle then has to come from your assets or investments, okay? And if there's no money because it's already going from check to check, then it's very hard to create investments or assets that's going to take care of your future. So if you do not have a goal or a plan to achieve that goal, then it's hard to say that you're going to retire like you desire. Okay. And so what we want to do is be able to retire like we desire. Is that right? And so you're gonna have to get to a place to where you're creating assets, right? Something that where you have cash, you go ahead and create an asset and it spits you out more cash. Something where you work one time and it creates more money for you, right? So what we want to understand is this: the money that you need to create is enough assets to overtake your expenses, so then you are free. It's not just a point to get to $100,000, in a year. If you have expenses that are $9,000, right? You still are performing check to check. You just look a little bit better doing it, right? So we don't want to just do that. We're tired of just getting a second job just so that we can go on vacation. We're tired of, selling something, plates from the house just so that we can send Johnny or Susie, into college, right? We have to get to a place to where we overcome the stipulations that have been placed around us, right, as a community. Because what we have realized is that Social Security and also pensions are no longer something that we can depend on. So if that's the case, what is it that we must do? Because if you are getting, as I have been or am, right, it's getting to the point to where it's closer to retirement, right? And I won't say older, but closer to retirement, right? So when we get to that point, it's not enough. It's only 24 hours in a day. There's only so many things you can sell once you get to this particular point. So you have to get to a place to where you have a strategy that's going to create assets, right? Because you have to get to a place where you multiply your efforts without multiplying your labor, okay? Or multiply your results without actually multiplying your labor, okay? So what does that mean? First and foremost, in order to get us in a position, right, back to basics, we want to understand that there are 4 challenges or obstacles that are in your way. These things are hidden cash flow destroyers. And the first one that we wanted to look at is a solid income killer. So if you're there and you are, presently washing dishes right now, or, you're there, you're watching something on your TV too, right? What I would love for you to do is say, hey, am I in a position to not take notes so that I can have a strategy that does not involve selling things, so that I can make sure that my lifestyle is where I want it to be, right? So we got to overcome that silent killer. That's inflation. Can you tell, right, the inflation that has been going on so far, right? I know last time I did the gas, I had to put almost $5.50 per gallon, right? And I remember it was just a little while ago, it was just $3 and some change, okay? And so, and also as I'm 50 now, so I remember when I could put maybe a couple of dollars, and gas was like 67 cents, 79 cents a gallon. So in my lifetime, just think about that increase in inflation. Now, have we had the same type of increase in our pay? Have we had the same type of increase, which is a 4 to 6% inflation is at a minimum 4 to 6% every couple of years? Do we have our jobs increasing our pay? So how do then they expect us to keep up? So what we do, we have to then go and say, hey, I'm going to work, and they're not even going to give you 100% of what you've given them. You gave them 100% of that hour. So the $20 that they were going to give you, Uncle Sam is going to take 30% of it, because they say you don't know what to do with it, right? They say that you are uninformed and you may make a mistake and not give us everything that's due to us, okay? So then there's between that gross and that net, they've taken 30%. But every time you fill out an application and for an apartment, for a home, for a car, they ask for your gross income so that you can qualify for more. But then your payment is also based upon your gross, but you're only getting the nets. So no wonder you're already behind the 8 ball, right? So taxes is taking 1/3 of your income. To put that this way, from January to April, you work for Uncle Sam. Now, you may say at the end of the year, I get a portion or I get that back. You may get a portion of it back, but you're not getting 30% back, okay? So let's take a look at then what do we have to do? We have to go into debt, because we have to make up for that 1/3 that was missing, right? And that debt has a penalty called an interest rate. Whether your credit is good or whether it's horrible, right? There is interest that you pay upon what you borrowed. And accordingly to that, right? That's how much more that you have to pay back. So then debt takes another 1/3 of your income. So now 66% of your income has been eliminated before you even get an opportunity to do anything about it, right? So what does this mean? Now what we do, we have another 1/3 of the income. And so we have big business out there. Now, big business says that, hey, what we're going to do is we're going to advertise you to you, on a consistent basis. So this next 1/3, we're going to make your wants feel like needs. So like on January, right, it's time to do something new. So you're going to have to spend money for new things or to start new things, right? Then February, that comes, then you have your Valentine's Day, where some celebrate, and you may have your significant other or your boyfriend, girlfriend, what have you, right? And so you're definitely going to get something for them, right? Then March, you have the spring break that comes up. Then April, some celebrate the Easter celebrations, right? And then you get into your May, your June, your July. And I won't drag you, because every month that I have named or that you can know on the calendar, you can put a something that's necessary for you to purchase from the commercial standpoint. So then you have less than adequate investments, because now that takes the final 1/3 of your income. So no, you cannot invest. So no, you cannot create an asset, because you don't have enough cash flow to do so. So what do we do to overcome this, right? What do we do to get ourselves past these particular challenges? Well, we have 3 solutions that are going to be amazingly easy, simple for you to implement. It's not once did I say, hey, you got to go and sell a bunch of things, or you got to get a bunch of individuals before you make, X amount of dollars, right? What we're talking about is you and you alone, that is going to propel you into your purpose building, right? And so the first thing we want to do is talk about a total financial transformation, so that you can make sure that every dollar has a destination, right? To make sure your cash flow is being managed. managed, because if you do not manage or you cannot track it, it's impossible to manage it, right? If that's the case, it's hard to know if it went that way, this way, right? It's like that Chris Tucker movie where he got kicked in the face, right? You say, he say, who kicked him from where, right? And that's how it is with our cash flow. It comes in, but it leaves us 10, 12 ways, right? So the first thing we talk about is cash flow management. This will give you an increase, an automatic increase in cash flow that's coming in. You may say, how, right? Do I get an increase in cash flow? Write this down. You are taxed between 28 to 33%. Right now, you work. Then they tax, they come get it, right? And then they say you can spend, right? We'll let you know if you can get the rest of your money back accordingly to what you did throughout the year, right? So what we want you to do now, right? What we want you to do at Real University, we want you to create a cash flow situation with the money that you already have. You already have things that are bills. These bills can be turned into cash flow. I said that right. Your bills can be turned into cash flow. Ask any small business owner that's taking advantage of those. This is what we're going to show you how to do, and those that are surrounding you, right? Your community, right? You want to help out as well. So let's say, for instance, you have a children's expenses, right? You can write off up to $12,000 per child, right? You have your cell phone. You probably are on it right now, right? Or your Wi-Fi, your internet service, your mileage. That's like 56, 57, I'm not sure, 57 cents, 58 cents a mile that you can be writing off. See, these things you are already sending out as bills. They can start now creating your cash flow. We're going to minimize our taxes by now writing off those household expenses and other things, right? We're going to minimize our debt because now we have extra money coming in. Majority of the times when you get that extra 30% back, that's an extra $250 to $350 to sometimes $700 back every month into your household, right? And so that you can keep it, you're going to start writing off all of these things that used to be bills. So now you don't have to worry about owing back at the end of the year, right? So now this extra $300, $400, $500 a month, you're going to take a portion. Now you're going to start knocking down expenses, right? You're going to say, hey, I no longer need this full package here, or I don't no longer need this right here because I'm getting serious about my life. So now I had a internet service and my cable, it was $500 because I had all these extra things. Now I've reduced it down to $250. So now I take the extra $250 with the other $500 that was introduced, right? And I start to reduce my debt now. And then as well, I start to reduce every type of expenses I have. So what does this do? This increases your cash flow without you actually having a second job, taking time away, right? I know people have had second jobs, and then because of taxes and because of childcare, it's like they never was working at all, right? They might as well not been doing anything. So now we're going to get you into the next 6 weeks of creating business income. You might say, Mike, well, I'm not, into the business thing, or I'm kind of shy or introverted or what have you, right? So the thing is, once again, it's you working on you. We're not asking you to do anything outside of that. Now, as you are creating your own individual fire, by saying, hey, I'm getting my credit right. I'm working on my individual finances. I'm making everything, work in tandem with one another. I have a strategy, a plan. It's others that are going to see, what you're doing. They're going to say, hey, how is that shaping up in your life? And then you can simply say, hey, they're helping me to do what I'm doing. This is going to create, a couple $100 a month, right? We're not talking $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month, right? We're just simply saying create business income because it helps you to reduce your taxable income, right? Because business income is taxed around 18 to 23%. You see, regular is up here at 28 to 33%. They're taking it. But when you have business income, you're able to work, then spend, right? And then you can pay taxes on what's left over. This is why you're allowed to get this extra 30%. How many people that are out there can use that extra 30%, not just by doing something like, I'm going to take my dependents up 12 and then back down 6 in the middle of the year and hope nobody audits me. No, we're going to do this the right way, right? That way we can have a home-based business. This home-based business is tracking and managing our cash flow, right? We have the software for you and everything so that it's very easy to do. Now you're able to work, you're able to spend what you have. Your 100% of your work, you get 100% of it, right? And then you're able to spend what's left over because you're writing off the rest of it, right? So now how does that work? Now you can invest $35 a month. Okay, that creates for you the business plan. I wanted you to bring back to what we're doing. Yes, we're creating business income. Yes, we're creating businesses. Yes, we're investing in real estate. And yes, we're creating investment opportunities. But first and foremost, we have to help out where the majority of individuals are, because we don't want to be so far away from individuals, because now we're creating this type of lifestyle that now we've also created such a distance that we have not actually helped what we had a goal to help, right? So now this $35 a month in exchange, you've created extra money from adjusting the taxes. You've created extra money from writing off your debt. Writing off your lifestyle, right? And so now you have an extra $500 to $1,000 a month coming in, and you're spending $35 in overhead, right? $35 you give me, I give you back 500 to 1,000. How many times would you exchange, right? You're going to exchange as often as you can until we run out of money. But that's what overhead is. Overhead is saying that, hey, I'm going to create a business. I know that I must first invest in a business in order for it to pay me, right? So that $35 gives you access to write off your lifestyle. While you're writing off your lifestyle, you're getting your personal credit better. You're getting your business credit better. You're learning how to leverage your credit. You're learning how to use your best asset. You're writing off your lifestyle. And then your investment income is even better, tax less than 15%. And we teach you the terminology and strategies, right? And so that you can then know how to talk to the individuals that may be working with you, right? Your people that may be your analysts, or, the individual, if you have a broker or anything like that, you're talking to an insurance agent or a realtor, right? You know the terminology, right? And the structure, okay? So now you understand, we'll talk about capital gains, dividends, and the greatest asset is yourself, right? And so that is what we wanted to create for you tonight, is to go back to basics. So every Monday, what we will be doing is we'll be going over this particular 2-4-3 strategy so that individuals can see that they can meet wherever they need to be met, right? If they're an individual that needs to create an extra $500 to $1,000 a month, let's just show you how to create that by adjusting the W-4, right? If you want to create a little bit more because you want to build a business, then let's go ahead and create an understanding of business credit, right? And understand how to do various things on brand management, social media training, right? Creating a funnel, right? Capture pages. All these different things are there for you in training, right? And then the next level, you want to know how to, right? We do group economics, or teaching you how to invest. Is it the 401k? Is it the IULs, right? Is it a Roth IRA, or is it real estate investing? So what we do is help you to become the real you by renewing excellence and advancing leadership. And then what attracts the right types. You become what you want to see, right? As that quote often says, we have to become the solution that we want to see, or become the change that we want to see. So if we've been doing X, Y, and Z and been getting the same results, it's time to do A, B, C, right? Because if you continue doing something the same way, expecting a different result, that is called insanity, right? Not Linsanity with Houston Rockets, right? No, we're talking about craziness. That's like banging your head against the wall, expecting the door to open when there's no door there, right? So what we want to do is we want to come back and understand, hey, what they may have told me previously, right, in school, that is something that either was unnecessary or something that I did not need, right? I need to understand how money works, how to create assets for myself. Did they tell me that I have a certain way of learning that I need? So, well, that's great. We have it in text message forms, right? We have it in script. We have it in video. We have it in audio. We have it live, right? We have it in recorded, right? Whatever it needs to be, because we understand everybody does learn differently. Then we may not have a lot of time. So this is why I've given my life to say, hey, I will do a presentation, train and develop and help others to become whatever they want to be, so that as you are doing what you desire over here, getting you to the real you status, you just tell others about what we're doing. Hey, show up on Monday nights and they'll go over something that's going to help you to become the real you. Teaching you about personal business credit, cash flow management, business income, investment income, right? Helping you to understand when you need to do various things, how to spot, the best types of whatever it is that you're getting ready to achieve or wanting to achieve, by first and foremost getting the personal challenges out of the way, right? Which majority of the times is money and credit in some form or fashion, right? So within this strategy, guys, it's nothing that you can't do. It's nothing that you can't solve. It's nothing that you can't achieve. All you have to do is sometimes you have to slow down to speed up. Right? Sometimes you have to say, hey, what I've been doing very fast. But at the same time, direction is more important than speed. Okay. Direction is more important than speed. Okay. And so when you understand those particulars, then you understand, hey, what we'll be going over now, those of you that may have been guests, just make sure that you get with the individual that invited you out. And we're going to go over into our training. And we're going to be talking about, of course, in our training, we focus on personal credit, business credit, and leveraging credit. But enter into the door, the focus is cash flow management, business income, investment income, because you got to have those layers so that you're protected in everything that you do. You're going to get a financial blueprint. So as soon as that you get your enrollment status, if you're watching this on a replay, then as soon as you get your enrollment status, of course, the text message says that, hey, says I'm in, and then your enroller will help you get all of the things that you need. Right? If you have not gone through orientation, and I apologize that I missed you, Miss Hose, the other day for the orientation, make sure that we get that done. Okay. And then what we want to do is, if you have not done your orientation, like Mark, we did one for Mark. It was great today. And so we want to keep that in a position, Carolyn, I heard you doing great things out there. Keep it up. It's awesome. Miss Meeks, of course, is approaching first couple of homes that we've contracted on, and we're going to start eliminating. She's already achieved the first $10,000 in credit. So we are actually growing and actually getting everybody to those levels. And so, guys, what we will be doing, we'll be starting to use more of a stringent analyzing process. So as you are getting into the mode of the investment side, we're going to also make sure that you're working on your cash flow manager, that you have done a cash flow strategist, right? That you have downloaded your software onto your phone, that you're recording your write-offs. Okay, we want to make sure that you are good. We don't want you just coming over like everybody else asks you to say, hey, come over here and sell, or come over here and work for me, right? So we want to make sure that you are empowered, but empowerment often takes a little bit of pain, right? Because we have to determine, right, what's happening for us. We have to make that determination of where we want to go. And then once we do that determination, what we have to do, we have to then make sure that hold on one second, guys. Move that out of the way. So once we have that determination, then we have to detour. Okay. We first make the determination. The determination says that this is my goal, and I know that there's a rocky place in between here, but I'm making sure that I'll never stop. Right. And I'm going to keep progressing 1% every day. And then in the next step, we want to make sure that we are executing, the process that we need to do every day. All right. When we put those two things together, then it's really nothing that we cannot do. Right. And as you are putting those things that you desire, the things that you want, then you can see where it fits in your life. Okay. You can see how it eliminates. So as we bring up your basics, okay. All right. So now we're going to look at and you should have this. This is called our purpose builder, kingdom purpose builder. Get it started right for builders. Okay. This is it's about 12 or 13 pages or so. And if you don't have this, let me know, because this is how you build an asset. Okay. This is why we do what we do, because you want to create yourself an asset. Okay. You don't just want to be working just because is income that you're going to and you're producing, because income, stops when you stop. You have to create an asset, and that asset can be various things, but it has to be something that's going to create for you what you desire. It has to create for you something that you can actually get to a place to where it's more than the expenses that you have. Okay. So how do we do this? I would say we returning to basics. So if you have your pen and pencil, right, or paper, or however it is that whatever it is that you're working with, okay. I'm gonna get this out of the way so that you can see it completely. Okay. So as you see this particular, let's imagine whatever your end goal is. Your end goal is to create this type of business. It may be a mobile notary, it may be real estate, it may be investments, it may be whatever that end goal is. Whatever that may be, nothing is done, right? Nothing is created until, guess what? Something is sold. No matter what this is, if it's a nonprofit, you still have to sell your proposal, your idea to the particular grant writer, or so that then they can sell the proposal to the person that has the actual grant, right? So it's still a process of understanding that you not only are selling the particulars of who you are, the real you, but you are also in a position to where you are the CEO of what you have desired. Okay. What we have to understand is, yes, there's opposition. Yes, there is suppression. Yes, all of these things are there. But what we do have is a few of us that are willing to come together as a unit and say, hey, I want to learn how to become a better me. As I'm learning how to become a better me, I'm going to help my community to reach out through the networks and resources that Real University has to offer. Okay. And see, that is how you're able to become a center of influence for your particular niche. Okay. So if this niche is in the hair, right? Because it's three main types of industries that we're working with, no matter what you're doing. You're either talking about health, or you should be in the arena of health, wealth, or relationships, right? Health, wealth, or relationships. And relationships can be relationships of spiritual nature, or basic relationships, male, female, or whatever those types of things are, right? And within that, now you're going to have whatever it is that you have, right? Whatever this is, a health and wellness shake, or you have a lifestyle as a coach, or you have the individual processes of a consultant, whatever these things are that you've activated, that you've seen is more your passion for life, right? You have to do it in a orderly fashion. So somebody asked me, say, Mike, okay, I need a daily method of operating. So what I'm giving you today, guys, is not only just that first part, which is an understanding of how the money flows by your the 2-4-3 strategy, so that you not only are in position of understanding, but you can also help those that in your community to be able to free themselves without actually spending more time to do so, because most people don't have more time. Okay, so now understanding this, you're going to either need something sold, or either you're going to need a crusade or followers, right, in order to push your agenda or your particular idea. Okay, and if you have a service or product, then of course you're going to definitely need clients, consultant, right? You're going to need something pushing that particular product or service. How do you start that ball rolling? Okay, you're not McDonald's, Coca-Cola. You can't spend $1 million on marketing and advertising, right? Maybe not $300 a month, right? Was a strong thing for me. So what we want to do is we want to get to a place to where we're strong in talking about our purpose. We're strong in talking about, the particular goals, right? Within our particular stratosphere, whatever this is, our circumstance, right? The circle that we're standing in. We have to get to a place, and Mark, you're totally fine. Don't worry about it. It's recorded. We'll take great notes, of course. So you're going to have a place to create that buzz. You have to create it by talking about. See, most times you're creating a buzz about a particular product or service, or you're talking about a movie or a food or something like that. But now we're going to create a buzz around our passion, right? You say, hey, I'm learning how to do this or that. I'm learning how to create a great credit. I'm learning how to create a business credit. I'm learning how to create cash flow for myself. I'm learning how to make money work for me. Whatever this is, grab hold of whatever that is that you're learning and get excited about the passionate that you're doing, because, hey, I'm doing this because I now can see myself doing this. I can now see myself stepping out of my job and being able to do this. I can now see myself freeing my significant other because it's dragging them down. I can now see myself freeing myself because I'm tired of asking off. I'm tired of asking, when can I go to the bathroom? All of these types of things. I'm tired of doing the things that I do not want to do, right? So we have to create that passion. And that passion is listed. You have to now have the passion, but now you have to track it. Remember, we said, hey, if you can't, track it, you can't manage it. My mentor often says, hey, you can never expect what you are unwilling to inspect. You cannot expect what you are unwilling to inspect, right? If you're not a person that says, hey, I work by design, then you need to become a person that works by design. And what that means, it says, hey, I'm going to Atlanta and I'm leaving tomorrow. That is going to be X amount of miles, and I'm going to drive X amount of miles. You're not going to say, hey, I'm going to Atlanta. Atlanta, say, is 200 miles, right? And you're going to drive 500 miles because you don't have a plan. No, you're going to drive to Atlanta. So you got to do the same thing with your finances. You got to do the same thing with your business income. You got to do the same thing with your investment income. You have to have a plan of attack. And until you become that person, This is why you tune into Monday nights. This is why you tune into Wednesday nights. This is why you tune into Thursday nights. You tune into whatever is moving within this organization because you're trying to maneuver yourself out of the mud. You cannot step up out of the mud. You have to explode out of the mud, right? You can't, because what you do is you get stuck. So now, in order to create this crusade, in order to create this following, we create a passionate fire with the people that we're getting ready to list upon this particular paper here. And this is our 50, 15, and 5 sheet. This is how you get your ball to moving. If you want to have more clients, that you want to sell more clients for hair, or you want to sell more clients butters, if you want to sell more clients more notary services, if you want to sell more clients more houses, if you want to sell as a realtor, you want to get more individuals, this is what you do. Right? There is no way around this. This is it's not just sometime, the fairy godmother is going to come and say, hey, you have this particular, what's a popular thing? Oh, Miss the sweet pies, Miss Patty LaBelle sweet pies. People like, man, I wish I had done that and created that, right? That didn't happen for her till she was well into what, her 60s or so, right? And even you say, hey, it happened because she had created a following. If she didn't have a following by being talented as a great singer, and how was she talented? She still had to develop that skill. So many times I see people have great talents, but they don't take the time to develop the skill with the talent that they have. So therefore, you have the individuals like your Tony Braxtons, like your MC Hammers, right? That ends up have great talent, then developed a skill, and now they had to go through bankruptcy, right? So what we want to do is we want to get into position with our cash flow skills, right? This position says, hey, reach out to 50 individuals. Out of that 50 individuals, you're just simply doing one thing. We have a text. If you're a shy individual like myself, right? You may not believe it, but I am, right? I don't talk a whole lot, right? So if you are that type of individual, we have a text message campaign. All you have to do is copy, paste, send it out. They say what they say. We have what you should say. Copy, paste, send it out. You do that 7 times a day, right? And then some are going to hit you back. Some hit you back later. Some are going to start scheduling appointments. Now you're filling out your calendar. Now you got your notes, right? You're talking to your person that's helping you to enroll. If it's me, right? Miss McMorris, it doesn't matter. So all these individuals that are surrounding you that can help you with this particular process, okay? And so as you're moving through this particular process, now you're able to free your mind, because now you're able to understand, okay, this is what I'm doing. Think about it like this. McDonald's is the same no matter where you go. The fry machine is there. The shake machine is there. The flurry machine is there, and it's not going to work, right? So everything is always the same so that a 15-year-old can run $1 billion business. But when we get into a place to where we want to run our business, we want to have so much creativity that it puts us out of business. And that's what I'm seeing a lot of times. We don't follow just particular structures, right? It's like this. That's what it is. Life's about what? Rhythm, right? There's always an ebb and flow. There's always a give and take, right? And so that's what you got to get. You got to get into that rhythm of your business, right? Personal credit, business credit, leveraging credit. I'm spending this amount of time doing this. I'm spending this amount of time on this arena. I'm spending this amount of time in this arena, right? I have a plan that I can follow. So then I can then free my mind of so much stress, because now the money will start to be there. Right? If it's not there, we'll know what to do. We'll be able to create another asset. What? How are we creating assets? It's awesome, right? Because you're simply helping other individuals to be the best that they can be, right? And if it's not that, now you're creating assets by individual businesses that you may want to create. It's so many different things that you can purpose out of your mind. You were fearfully and wonderfully made. We want to use that, right? So now we know that we work with numbers. So out of those 50 individuals, you're going to do that within 1 week. You're going to use the sheet to say, hey, this is what happened. That's what that one happened. This is what happened with this one. And out of the 50, about 15 of them are going to be able to look and see, oh man, I like what you're doing. Hey, go ahead, let me see the full presentation. Out of those 15, about 4 to 7 of them are going to say, hey, yeah, I'm with you. Let's roll, right? And if you don't believe me, it happens, right? If you take the time, we just had, excuse me, Miss McMorris, who is now probably platinum, EVP platinum, just great congratulations as well. That is where you get to a point to where you've helped 12 individuals within your team to start to get better at what they want to do. Meet people where they are, help them to become a better them, the real them, renew that excellence, advance leadership within that individual. So if you do this now every week, you start your business. So every week, Sunday, you have 50 names. So at Monday, you're going to talk to 7 by sending out 7 text messages. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, all the way through, you're sending out 7 text messages so that by the following Sunday, now you know to do that again. And that's what's going to create that momentum. So some of those people are going to start replying. Some of those people are going to start signing up. We're going to be doing orientation calls. You're going to be inviting them over here. You're going to be showing them where everything is. You're going to be inviting them, make sure they're adjusting the W-4 to get their money back, making sure that they're working with their cash flow manager to get that money back, making sure they're reducing their expenses, making their personal credit better to get their money back. So as this gets their money back, now they are trusting you, because people only do business with those that they know, like, and trust, right? So as that happens, because you gave first, you said, hey, I'm helping you to get yourself into a better position, okay? Now they're going to ask, okay, hey, what do you do, right? Oh, let me get some of those bracelets from you. Hey, let me get some of that food that you make. Man, I tell you what, that Caribbean style was awesome. Man, that American style that you got, man, I love how you put that stuff together, man. Yeah, see, they're with you now because you helped them to overcome a particular strategy. Then they start telling the others about them, right? About you and your particular product or service. Okay. See, it's that way of understanding what this world is now, right? This world is an understanding that is backed by the internet. So people say, hey, I'm gonna look this up. I'm trying to learn how to do this. I'm gonna learn. Everybody just feels like they can do pretty much what they're there. You know what I'm saying? Oh, most definitely. Are you sending it to the same people the following week if you haven't spoken to them? Definitely. I tell you what I do is I have a certain amount of time. Okay. Oh, yes, she means the text message that we're talking about now, the text campaign. So if there is let's say for instance, I go through and within that first week, if I have sent it out to that whole 50, when I've sent out that whole 50, and I come back Sunday and I look over my sheet and I see that there may be some that have not answered me, then I will delete that person out of my text message script. Okay. I'll delete that person out of my phone. You see what I'm saying? Because right now I'm not in high school. I'm not trying to make friends. I'm not trying to maintain an unmaintainable friendship, or so to say. And if that person has not replied to me, right, it's probably not a friendship anyway, right? And if they have been going through something, they just haven't replied to me, then they'll reply. But I don't want to focus on it. Okay. I don't want to focus on it. All right. So great question. Great question. So this is what starts to create. Now you have individuals that they are introducing you to, that you're finding within, that have they need help with particular house. They need particular help with a car. They need a particular help with financing a truck. They need particular help with creating a business strategy. They need help with creating logos, right? We have a awesome individual, guys, that we'll be highlighting. And what we'll do, we're going to do probably, I don't know how, but we're going to do a highlight, because we got some awesome individuals doing some awesome things and producing some awesome work. And we want to start actually recognizing people, right? Giving them flowers right now. Right. So this process, guys, will help you throughout what you're trying to do. And this process will help you to what we call those 5 P's, right? It's called the 5 steps of enrollment. And if you're taking notes, the first P is prospecting. Okay. Prospecting. The second P, these two go together. Peak interest and pass. Peak and pass. Okay. That second step goes together. And that peak is PIQUE. Peak interest and pass. See, what I'm doing is I'm relieving you from any rejection or anything. I'm relieving you from any types of what are you doing or how's it working for you? I'm taking all of that away. Okay. You won't have to shoulder that burden of becoming the billboard for what you're doing. You say, hey, I'm working on me. And I mean, any other people that want to work on them, I'm inviting them over, but I'm working on me. So you're piquing their interest and you're passing them over to a website. You're passing them over to a Monday night call. You're passing them over to a expert, which may be your executive vice president gold or your executive vice president platinum. Okay. You're passing them over to something that is not you, right? If you're writing notes, right? We use tools and you are not a tool. Okay. Use the tools and you are not a tool, right? We want to make it easy for you. Hey, I don't know, talk to Mike, right? And then we will edify by saying, hey, Mike knows all the facts, loves helping people, right? Whatever the question that they may have, right? And then basically what I'm going to do is talk to them for a few minutes and then pass them onto a presentation, because we never sell, right? So at the time, I'm saying, hey, if that's something that you want to have answered, then we will go over that in specific on Monday night, on Wednesday night, right? So I'll plug them in on Monday or Wednesday night. And then at that time, if they come there, then we're going to pass them over to a yes or a no. And at that time, we're going to what we call the fourth P, which is plug. Okay. So we went from the second P, which was peak and pass. Second P was peak and pass. The third P was the presentation. The third P was the presentation. Okay. And the fourth P was to plug. Now we're going to hear them say yes, no, maybe so, whatever this is, we're going to plug them in. Okay. They say yes, we're going to plug them into enrollment. If they say, nah, not right now, we're going to plug them into a 2-week follow-up or 4-week follow-up. Okay. We're going to plug them in. Okay. Now, after we plug them in, now we're going to promote to the individuals that said, no, we got a 2-week, 4-week. We put them on the calendar with an alert so that we follow up. Good business, right? Good business. And then those that said yes, we're going to promote and make sure that they're adjusting their W-4. We're going to make sure that they're going through their cash flow manager. We're going to make sure that they're downloading, right? So as we're doing these things now, this sheet will help you. All you have to do is pick it up and it'll help you to go through each area. Prospecting, peak and pass, right? And if you are proficient in using your phone, your Myecon app your Myecon app that you downloaded on your phone, it has your own automated system. So now, let's say, for instance, that somebody says, hey, I would like some more information. Well, great. I have an assistant that is helping me to do so. Would you like that by text or email? And I'll make sure that they follow up with you. Okay. And then all you have to do is get your phone out, put their text information, number in there, or their email, whatever they gave you. And your automated marketing system will follow up with them. if they ask you about travel, if they ask you about the income shifting membership, if they ask you about more information on the credit portion, right? If they ask you more information on some of the products that we have listed, you can put them in there, and that system will send them texts. It'll send them emails, right? So it'll follow up with them as if you're doing it. Okay, so this is a powerful system that you can now create for yourself by actually helping others to see what they need to for themselves, right? That in turn is going to create more clients for you, more customers for you, more individuals for your investment platform, you more individuals. You see what I'm saying? So what this system does, it creates more of you. It helps you to multiply who you are. So some of those individuals that are coming your way now, they may want to do exactly what you're doing. Now you're able to take Real University's franchising system. So now you give them the franchise, right? And now you have a 30, 15, 20% that you're receiving from their business because you've given them the ins, the outs, and all they need to maneuver and become or overcome hurdles that you had to overcome. So now you created a franchise, okay? So you're creating franchises, which is a great asset. You're creating actually more clients, which is a even further asset. You can also create ambassadors for your business so that now you have people representing your business, and then we can show you how to structure that as well. Okay, so your thing is just to understand how the system works. And as you see here, we are plugging them in. Call 10, text 10, or direct message 10, right? But what you want to do is just reach out, right? And your thing is you can use the text messages on Instagram, Twitter, it doesn't matter. You can use it as you are introducing yourself throughout the social media, as you're creating friendships, not just throwing out links and saying, buy this, do this, right? We're not going to look like everybody. We're going to be there with those professionals that separate, the goats from the sheep, so to say, right? So now we have the particular script, and I'll let you guys go. I have a 9:30 here, so I want to respect everyone's time. I want to do 30 minutes introduction and the presentation and 30 minutes on the training side. Tonight, what we did was go over the structure so that we can see, hey, start with this framework. This is how I can get my day to moving. This is how I'll know how to start filling in different parts of my day. And then in between that time, you start studying in the back office of your Real University. In between time, you're in the back office of your business management center in your Myecon back office. You're getting your investment strategies. You're getting your business income training. Okay? You're getting your cash flow training. Okay, so your text message is beautiful, and I'll let you go 2 seconds. Income is a direct reflection of activity. Okay, I'm just throwing this out there, but are you open to a side project that will not interfere with what you currently have going on? So you'll be able to text this, just simply copy and paste, and now that's out there. One time you sent, don't do a group message, right? I know you know that, but I just have to say it. Do it one at a time. So you send one out, two out. It took you 5 minutes to send it out to 7 people. Copy, paste, copy, paste. What we're looking for is unemotional attachments, right? What we would do if they say yes, no, maybe so, we just say, tell me quick, I gotta go, right? So we got to get to that position in life, because that one no, don't let that derail you from your purpose, right? The 10 no's, it doesn't matter, because we understand that numbers are numbers, and it only counts for the win, right? So if you understand that the 10% that you talk to are going to be the 10% that you work with, right? So if you talk to 50, about 5 are going to be ready to rock, right? You talk to 100, about 10 are going to be ready to go. And then you teach the same system to the 5 or 10 that joined. And then now they're doing the same, which that creates for you 5 to 10 assets, right? So let's imagine Ms. McMorris, she went through the process, did the 50, 15, and 5, right? And her own strategies. She reached out into those individuals. I don't even think she reached 50 yet, right? And there's already 12 individuals that are coming aboard, okay? Now, this creates for her as well, not only just a way to reach out and help others to become and have the resources, the networks, the understanding, the education that they need to be the best them that they can be, right? But it also creates for her 12 asset centers. Okay. So let's imagine as this goes forward, right? And each individual becomes a position of creating an extra $100 a month. So these 12 individuals, right, can now have that's extra $1,200 a month that's coming in. Okay. So you have to understand what you have your hands on, because a lot of times you say, hey, I'm going to do this home. You spend $100,000 on the home, and sometimes, if it's not done properly, then you have a $200 or $300 a month that you're making on it passively, right? You're renting it out for 900 and your mortgage is 600. So you're making about 300, but if you subtract the taxes, you may be making about $150 a month. You got a property, you're in real estate, right? But you're creating $150 a month from a $100,000 asset. Okay. It's an asset. That's true enough. But what about helping the 12 people that she helped to get to a point to where they are perfect credit, great business credit, have the car, the home that they desire, right? Now these 12 people are happy. Are they going to stop doing what they've been doing to create this happiness? No, right? So now that becomes an asset. The asset starts to grow without help any longer. Okay. So now you just simply go and copy paste. They say something back, copy paste. I just got started. Now I've already learned how to get myself in a better position credit wise so that I can expand my business. I've already learned how to start on business credit. I know what a Dun and Bradstreet number is and how to get my paydex score, right? I already learned how to, because this creates what? Peak interest. Okay. Now you're passing them. So they say, how are you doing that? I tell you what, glad you asked. Just copy and paste. My mentor will be explaining these strategies on Monday night. If it's a Tuesday and Monday's already passed, then you say, hey, they'll be doing it on Wednesday night, right? And so you already have it in your calendar where you can just copy and paste the Monday night information, right? And just copy, send that to them. If it's Wednesday, you already got it in your calendar. You're just going to copy and paste and send it out for them on Wednesday, right? But you make it to where it's understandable that this is not just happening all the time, right? This is, hey, if you're not going to be serious about this now, I'm not going to send you this link. If you really want to solve whatever the problem they told you, I'll send you this link, because my mentors are really, strong, and we really want to help individuals, and we only have a certain amount of seats. See, now you're understanding, they're understanding how serious you're taking it, right? So now the individuals, they start to show up. Now they're going to plug into the system. They're going to do the exact same thing I'm showing you tonight. Then those people are going to come in the system and they're going to start doing the exact same thing. You see what I'm saying? We're not dependent upon somebody getting out there selling a bunch of cars. We're not dependent on somebody getting out there and selling a bunch of travel. We're not dependent about somebody getting out there selling a bunch of makeup. We are simply dependent on individuals that say, hey, I want to become the best me that I can be. And here's the resources and networks. Go at it, right? So now we can have everything in place. So we always, once these people say, hey, yeah, I love it, and I'll be there that Monday, Wednesday, and you said that, hey, you took it back from them, make sure they were serious before you sent out the link, for Monday or Wednesday, then guess what you do? You say, hey, great. My mentor also would love to talk to individuals that are going to be on the call, about 30 seconds or so, just to see, talk to them as well. You got a couple more seconds. They say, great. And you just say, hey, hold on 1 second. And you already are plugging, calling me or calling one of the other leaders that are upon the team, right? We have many people that can help you with that particular process, because all we're going to do is, whoever this is that you're calling, you're going to say, ring, ring. We're going to pick up. You're going to say, hey, I have such and such, such on the other end, and they're looking to get on the call on Wednesday. They're looking to get a call on Monday, right? Then I'm going to pick up, or the leader's going to pick up and say, hey, I heard, and we say it all the time, same thing. I heard that you were a person that was a mover and shaker. I heard you were a person that loved to get things done, right? So on one or two of those things that we're going to say, something edifying. Well, great. And you had a challenge with this. What was it? And they'll say what that challenge was. or what they loved, right? Or what they heard you say and they wanted to get more of it, or whatever it was, they just want to get more information. Well, great. We're going to be going over this on that whatever you just told me, Monday or Wednesday. We're going to be going over that specifically on Monday, Wednesday. And I expect you to be there as well, because such and such has great trust in you, right? Jerry has great trust in you. And so now you pass that over, and now they have the credibility that you have lended me. And so now my credibility is saying, hey, hey, I'm going to make sure that you're there. Now, make sure you call Jerry back if you're not able to make it, because we have several people that are waiting, to understand what it is that we're going to be talking about. Okay. Now, this will lock them in. We'll get them on that Monday or Wednesday, and then you're able to have a productivity tracking sheet. So this will show you, okay, what am I doing on a day-to-day basis? This is going to get that buzz going. This is going to get, the clientele moving in and out, right? It's going to get you some Myecon memberships. It's going to get you some car sales. It's going to get you some home sales. It's going to get you some credit sales, right? But it's going to keep that process moving, okay? And then you'll be able to track your points throughout each week. So, right, you can make sure you get copies of this so you can keep doing it every month. And then let's start adding up these totals every week, right? And so what I'm going to do is I am looking out. Carolyn, yes, it will be on Real University, but you can also be able to go back to this particular, if you subscribe, you can also see it here on the YouTube channel as well, okay? So this right here will help you guys stay on point. So now you're going to refine your time. You're going to be like, okay, hey, I'm working between 8 to 10 hours a day. I have to pick up children, or I have to make food, or I have to do yard work, or whatever this particular thing that I have. And then I know in that time I've carved out Monday night, 8:25 to 9:25. That is my meeting. Okay. I've carved out Wednesday night, 9:25 Eastern to 10 o'clock, just 30 minutes. Okay. I've carved out Thursday, the accountability, 9:25 to 10 o'clock. Right. You need those dates and times, just email and everything. Right. But this will keep you understanding day to day. And then this helps you track the people that are in, right? So as the people that are starting with you, that are signing up, enrolling with you, say, hey, John Smith, what date did they start? Have they done their W-4? Have they done the cash flow management, right? Have they done the cash flow strategy? That's what the S stands for. Cash flow manager, cash flow strategy, right? Can they do a full presentation? Okay. And so we're going to refine, and the full presentation you'll see is very simple. It's just that the flip chart that I just used in the beginning of the call, right? And so it's a very simple thing to do, really just reading off, and we work on it day to day. So guys, also take this note, on the 25th, we're going to have Super Saturday, right? It's going to be on the 25th. And what we do is we lock down and we go over what's working. We talk about, personal development. We have a really good time. And basically we just get on a Zoom call. So you don't have to do anything special. You can keep, your bonnets on, you can keep your wave caps on, right? No problem. Just turn the computer on and, get yourself tuned, right? It's just like everything else. It's like a once a month conference that we do to keep us fine-tuned and to understanding personal financial success, right? Personal development, personal growth, because we need that external drive, right? Because surrounding us are as individuals or circumstances that want us to go the other way, right? So we got to get away from that type of thing. We got to get over to what. Right. So that's what we do, guys. The script. I'm sorry. Gotcha. Yes, definitely. We do have the script. I will be emailing this particular script out. So make sure that I have your email address, and I'll make sure that you have this this whole sheet that we have, right? This whole thing right here. That's in our getting started right for builders. Okay. Excellent. Guys, I appreciate it. I appreciate those that were able to stay on and those that, had to go. I definitely understand that as well, because we want to make sure that we do represent the time, necessary. But I also want to make sure that it is done correctly, because I take it very seriously, your purpose. I take it very seriously. Okay. So you guys do what it takes. And, as you see here, as a man thinking in his heart, then so is he. So what is it that we're thinking, right? What is it that we're thinking? I have to talk to a great close friend of mine, say, hey, you got to think about what you think about, because if you don't, it'll make you upset, right? You got to understand, you got to talk to yourself, right? What do you say when you talk to yourself? Do you reinforce the negative track that you're already on? Or do you talk to yourself and you talk yourself down from that particular cliff? Okay. So guys, once again, I appreciate you. If there's anything that we can do, anything that we can help, definitely reach out. And there's nothing that we can't solve with just the strategies and walking yourself through the basics. All right. So you guys be cool. Peace.
I'm super excited about Myecon because of the freedom, the flexibility that it allowed for me and my family to have. Before Myecon, I was in the military and we had more month than we had money. After applying the strategies and using the system, we've been able to cash flow up to $700,000. I have retired without having to get a retirement job, and my wife is on the same path to retire within the next 2 years, so we could just live our life on purpose and with our kids. That's why I'm excited about Myecon.